Hey guys, in this WoLongFallenDynasty video, I'm going to show you a powerful Grease Lightning build. This is a build designed to deal damage over time to your enemies, affecting them with shock so they're more vulnerable to poison accumulation. In this video, I'm going to show you my virtue stats, wizardry spells for high and low morale with this build, and details on my weapons and armor. If you're new here, please sub to my channel with notifications on, and after this video is over, please head on over to my channel and check out some of my other Wolong build videos. Alright, so this is a level 150 build, and these are my virtue stats. Now, as always, I preface this video by saying I understand all the soft caps, and if you don't understand the soft caps for virtue and stats, definitely check out the video that I created all about that, letting you know what soft caps are for all the virtues, so you can be better informed and make your build properly for you and your level. Now, with all that being said, I've got my wood virtue all the way up to 50, affect HP and the amount of spirit lost when attack. I have it boosted up to 50 because I definitely wanted more lightning attack power. Fire virtue is at 15 because it's a nice safe number so I can have my other stats boosted that I needed. I've got earth at 10. I like to keep it at 10 because it seems like 10 is the number that I need to keep my weight limit in check. Then I've got metal virtue all the way at 59, might as well say 60. Affects the duration that a high level of spirit can be maintained for, and the spirit consumed by wizardry spells. Alright, so I basically have it up to 60 just so I can have more metal attack power. That's pretty much it. And then finally over at water virtue, affects how easily enemies can detect you and the amount of spirit consumed when deflecting. I put that at 20 because I was trying something different, honestly. I wanted to see if 20 would make a difference, and I think it does make kind of a difference. When it comes to wizardry spells for this build, I have two different sets, one for low morale and one for high morale. This is the one for low morale when you're first starting out in a zone. And the first spell I chose for this is going to be Elemental Plague. You need 3 morale for this. Increases the accumulation of all status effects dealt to enemies for a certain period of time. And this is the most important spell for both sets of builds, so you can accumulate that status effect on your enemies. The second spell I chose was Venomous Discharge. Releases bubbles of poison that burst and generate poison bogs. These bogs will cause damage over time to enemies touching them and also will just affect them with poison. Second spell I chose for this first set is Lightning Bolt. You need 3 morale, 1 in wood. Calls down a bolt of lightning on a locked on target or on a point at a certain distance in front of you. Idea here is to get them poisoned and then hit them with lightning for like the Grease Lightning. There's a small chance that they'll get affected with both of these status effects, poison and shock. And then finally, Amplify Damage for a certain period of time increases both the damage you deal to enemies and receive from them. So this is a very tricky spell. It's a risk-reward sort of thing. You just got to be real careful when you do this. I like to use this mostly whenever I'm playing online with people while they have the attention of whatever we're fighting. I can just sit back and pop off Lightning Bolt, pop off Venomous Discharge, and keep using these spells alternately back and forth. And then I can hit Elemental Plague whenever it cools down from the current casting that I have. And I just amplify damage on it. When the enemy is focused specifically on me, I'll probably leave amplified damage alone because I don't want to take more damage. It usually causes some problems, but for the most part, just sit back, let other people do the fighting for you or the tanking for you, the aggro, get the aggro of the boss or monster, and just hit Lightning Bolt and Venomous Discharge. And this is set number 2. Like I said, I keep Elemental Plague because I definitely want my enemies to accumulate the different status effects. Second spell I chose for this is Venomous Discharge. Releases bubbles of poisons that burst and generate poison bogs. These bogs will cause damage over time to enemies touching them. You need 3 morale for this one. I believe I might have used this one on the first set of spells. Basically, this is just a ranged sort of attack, so you can hit your target if they are kind of away from you and hit them with poison. Because just like with the first set, you kind of want to sit back with this one and let other people do the aggro, tanking sort of stuff. So you can just sit back and just hit damage on your target and let them accumulate those status effects, rather. Third spell I chose was Heaven's Rage. Calls down many bolts of lightning to strike in front of you. This is just a super powerful spell, and it's honestly the only lightning spell that you need for lightning damage, and it will definitely affect your target with shock if you hit him like once or twice with this thing, especially if you have a high wood virtue like I do. You need 7 morale for this and 25 in wood virtue. And the last spell I chose for this is Toxin Bubbles. Releases bubbles of poison to the front. Bubbles will burst and create a poison bog when they hit enemies or terrain. The bog will cause continuous damage to enemies touching it. I put this on here as the last spell over a lightning spell because I do believe that damage over time from poison is just a little bit more effective than the whole shock thing. You definitely want them to take ticks of damage. I don't think they take any ticks of damage when they're shocked. They do get some sort of status ailment when they are shocked. You'll see what that is, actually. A status effect inflicted when lightning accumulation reaches a certain point, reduces toxin resistance, and gradually decreases spirit. Can be cured with metal phase positive spells. So actually they will take more damage when you poison them. And then since we're here, poison, a status effect inflicted when toxin accumulation reaches a certain amount, reduces flame resistance and gradually decreases HP and spirit. Also prolongs the duration of any other negative effects. Can be cured with a fire phase positive effect. Alright, so when it comes to weapons and armor for this build, I chose Sword of Yu the Great and Golden Staff of King Yufu. Now, I chose Sword of Yu the Great because of the armor set that I'm using. I am using the Evil Taoist set to get the Instigator of Evil set bonus. The first bonus, Spirit Gain from deflecting, and then you got Elemental Damage, Damage Amplification upon Wizardry Spell, and then of course Wizardry Spell Damage 8.1%. On the Golden Staff of King Yufu, I still don't have my 4-star version of this weapon, but it doesn't matter because I chose this weapon specifically for the extra skill that it has down there, Wizardry Spell Damage plus 4%, and that's a huge help whenever you are dealing damage with wizardry spells. And when it comes to my Evil Taoist set, the specific different armor pieces I have, let's just check it out. Over on my Evil Taoist headpiece, I've got damage to enemies with shock, spirit vulnerability on enemy upon wizardry spell, shock accumulation on enemies, and then marking flag detection. That thing is super useful, marking flag detection, I can't tell you. And then on the Evil Taoist cloak, we've got elemental damage plus 2.8%, poison accumulation on enemies plus 7.3%, lightning attack power plus 17, shock accumulation on enemies plus 7.6%. Over on the Evil Taoist bracelets, wizardry spell spirit consumption minus 2, lightning attack power plus 18, poison accumulation on enemies plus 8.1%, and shock accumulation on enemies plus 7.3%. And then finally, Evil Taoist leglets, we got more lightning attack power, spirit damage to enemies with shock, wizardry spell consumption, just 2%. I keep messing up on that. And then shock accumulation on enemies. So a lot of these things, shock accumulation on enemies, you definitely want them to get that shock accumulation so they can take more toxin damage. Alright guys, and that's going to be it for this video. If you did like the build, be sure to hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comments and I'll try to answer them if I can. For more great gaming videos, don't forget to head over to my channel. My name is Ventus SGN. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a Twitter, why not give me a follow for daily gaming posts at VSGN Social. The link will be in the description.